dancing waves all calling to me.
Hello, so welcome back to Barbed Audio and a happy new year to everyone. First show of the new year, and we've got a very exciting band. Well, two members, unfortunately the rest couldn't join us, but we've got Billy and Miles from Ideal Living. How are you guys?
Yes, very good. Very good. Very happy to be here.
Okay, so today we're just going to get to know a bit more about these guys, and yeah, so off the bat, let everyone out there know who you are.
Hello, I'm Billy, and this is
Miles.
We're two of the members of Ideal Living. I play guitar and I sing, and Miles.
I play keys and bits of Simpsons sing.
He sings, yeah. And I guess we're like two members of a 7-piece band, like experimental
Sort of
art rock,
Yeah.
I guess, things. We used to call it post-spook knitwear rock, which I still kind of stand by. Or Doctor Who music, that's what I wanted to. Doctor Who music, that's us.
Yeah, no, we were saying earlier, I don't think we would be able to fit all 7 in here today. We'd have them like kind of crouched behind.
I think it'd be quite hard,
Yeah, so hopefully maybe in future we'll try and figure out a new setup.
Yes,
so,
yeah,
definitely. So from where you guys started to now, how would you say your sound has changed over time? Have there been any like outside influences to that, or just
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's like Ideal Living's kind of a weird project, I think, because there's a kind of like a core, and when we started it was like Miles, me, my guitarist Tinny, Austin, and Lex and Bertie, the bass and drummer. And then we added Jamie, who's the trumpet player, variety of things he plays now. And then Freddie came along, and I feel like a lot of the like biggest influences for me personally, and I think in kind of a general whole as a band, are through artists like Nick Cave or, like Marky Smith from The Fall, who have been lucky enough to have a lot of collaborations with other people. And I think we're definitely not ever like kind of wanting to like stop that kind of evolution, because I think that helps with our kind of sound. But I don't really know how much it's changed. I think it's difficult to kind of know that from when you've started to when you've finished. But I definitely feel like we've kind of got to know what we want to do as the band more. What would you?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we've not really consciously sat and gone, let's push more one way or the other. We've just gone like, we think this sounds cool, like what we enjoy playing, and like a lot of it, I think, because it usually stems with your lyric writing and stuff. It will come from quite a rhythmic place, and adding the two brass boys, that obviously added a different element to it. But I think like the core of it and the way it has worked seems to just it kind of does it without us thinking. It's just whatever we're listening to, I guess, at the time. I mean, I'm more of a jazz head, more of a jazz rock sort of head, and then I like livelier bands as well. But it's definitely like a clash of massive different influences across the band, and that's I think what makes it cool.
To know each other as well. Like the more we've got to know each other as a band over the last like 2 and a bit years, the more we've kind of understood what we want from each other. So kind of getting to know each other more.
It's like a marriage.
I think I could definitely see that you guys have kind of nailed that sound, and I think definitely a unique take on it, and all like you can hear each individual layer and realize that there's a lot of thought put into it. And I think, like you're saying, I think when you don't think about the process too much and you're just doing it, that's the most authentic kind of self-reflection of the art. And I think it shows that you guys are putting how you feel, and obviously there's outside influences, but it's always cool when you can't always just say like, oh yeah, we just wrote it like this, it's cool.
I mean, again, I think that's the testament to having so many other like people in the band like Miles and other people who just have completely different tastes in what they like, to me, and it kind of works as when we bring it to the band, because they can play things or do things that I've not considered before, because I don't listen to the same kind of music. So
so next question, I think we kind of touched on it just then, but how do you balance kind of trying out new things but also staying true to yourself?
I think like staying true to yourself is trying new things in a way. Like I think if you're like the band we are, like we like, obviously for like the last little bit we've kind of stuck with the same set, but I think we're very much keen now that like the process of this kind of body of work is being released to kind of like move on and try and do our next kind of project, or like not a different band, but I mean like next kind of like ideas or like sound we want to do. And I think we don't usually worry about like if we're playing something too much, or it will just, I think it all feels very natural, and like we just try not to worry. So Yeah, maybe that's not the best answer to the question.
No, it's a good answer. Good answer.
Yeah, I don't think there's any secret formula to any kind of writing. I think it's
Definitely
like
not.
I think it's the willingness to be open to any form of like.
Yeah.
I think in the band, even though it has majority been like Austin or me bringing like ideas, no, I don't think we've ever closed ourselves to anyone bringing like even just like a one kind of riff or like one little thing to like base something off or like add to another track. I think we're very open like that.
So how do you guys know when an idea is fully worth pursuing?
I don't think we ever do. Really.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm not gonna lie, we finished a few unmastered and then not released, so it's like it's kind of we're really harsh with it. I don't think we ever know. We get excited about some of them, like when
definitely
the one that we were working on the other week, the elevator music
that's really
excited us. Like you could see it.
I think it's a general feeling, isn't it? It's like like you said, we recorded songs and then it was me. I was me. I was like, I just didn't think it was our sound, and it was a good song, and it took us a moment. Yeah, and it took us a moment because I was a big advocate for it because it is a good song.
That was the prime example.
It just wasn't our. Yeah, it was, but that's what I like about it is we don't mind doing that, and I think you never really know. Like there are times when I'm like, this is definitely the best thing I've ever written. And then a week later, I'm like, this is rubbish. Like, I hate it. And I don't think you ever know, really. Like, I think, it's like that thing, like you said, like when we played that song the other week when we were writing this thing, it's just that general feeling of like, this feels good in this room. And like, it feels like us. And it's like, it's definitely like a kind of evolution, I think, with this stuff. After this record comes out, I kind of think it'll be a bit more faster, maybe a bit more intense. But we don't know, like I feel like we never try and close ourselves off to any idea. And so like knowing when something's done is kind of hard. But we just try things out, and I think that again the best way to do that is just playing live. Yeah. Like when for me, I don't really ever know if a song's done until I've played it live a couple times. And then you can see like the way the audience reacts, you can see how it is on stage. Because like again, like you can have a great song in a rehearsal room, it just doesn't work on stage, and I don't know why that is, but it just doesn't sometimes. And I think it's just playing live as much as you can helps you really figure out what you want to do.
Yeah, definitely.
That was into recording, didn't we?
Yeah, definitely.
Quite live.
All of the main instruments recorded together in a room, and I think I don't foresee us doing it in a different way anytime soon. I think that energy of our live performance is probably one of our strong points, our selling points, maybe.
Yeah, definitely. I think that live sound is very much like unmatched, like especially like recording together in a room. You can record it separately, but there is that disconnecting. There's not that.
I mean, it's whatever serves the song.
Yeah,
and I
exactly.
think for us, like a lot of the time, the energy that we have live, the more we can translate that into the recording, the better the recording is. To be honest.
So, how do you guys experiment with sound and genre? And do you have any kind of things you do to push the kind of boundaries of your style?
Listen to a lot of music. I think that's the best way to do it. Like the more music you listen to, the more you can find. Like I said before, we're all very different in terms of like pretty much everyone has their own other project, and those other projects are completely different to the sound, and I think that helps. I think it's just not being willing to try people's ideas, be willing to try things you might not like, be willing to listen to things you might not like. There's a lot of stuff I listen to that these guys show me that I don't enjoy at all. And it's the same for them. Like I have a very weird sense of taste. And I think it's that collaboration of like hearing something you might not necessarily like, but finding something in it that you can take and rob.
They do quite weird, unconventional things as well sometimes. Like with the last EP, we would like let Jamie loose with an iron and some samples.
No, that's a great example of it, to be fair.
Bringing in like different people's elements of like their own production and their own creative process, because as Bill said, a lot of us are songwriters in the band anyway in our own project, and the way that everyone approaches composition is different, so the way everyone's part writing happens is different. There's kind of like just sort of
I think so. It's a bit pretty much, but like it's fun. Like I think it's just being willing to let anyone do what they want, and then also have that professionalism of like, if that person has done it and you've listened to it out and you don't think it's good, being able to have that being able to say that without it being like, what, we're gonna fall out now.
It's never personal.
It never is, no. And it's a great thing to be in a project like that, I think, because we never really worry too much about convention or like worried or like if this sounds too weird or if this sounds, we just kind of go with what we think is good. And that, I think that works for us.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so more on the kind of influences and all that kind of stuff. Have you guys ever been influenced by some kind of different kind of source, like a book, a game, or anything like that?
So much. Like, I think multimedia has been the thing that's obsessed me. I think ever since I became like a musician or wanted to be a musician. I think like literature, like books for me have always been the thing. Like I love more, not more than music, but as much, and film, to be honest, is a bit, I get most of my inspiration more from film than I do from music a lot of the time. I think like sound scores and theatre productions, things like that have always just blown my mind. Like I think if it wasn't for the problems of space or money, I would have like a whole orchestra in the band, because I love that whole feeling of like something bigger than yourself. So I think so much like film especially has played a massive influence in my like growing up. And I think as well, like just as a musician, what I love about it is being able to kind of create your own world. Like, and there's some great examples of musicians who don't just do music, they like create that whole, like we were talking about before the interview, like Tyler the Creator, I think is a great example
definitely
of someone who doesn't just do music, he like it forms a whole world around his thing. And I think that as a fan, for me, is just the thing I love, being engulfed by like not just the music, by like the whole world that
definitely
creates. But
no, definitely I think it's a unique approach, and you can see that in your guys' music, that kind of, again, like bringing back to the one of the first questions, like the kind of theatrical and that, and definitely those elements definitely show through. So it's really cool.
Hopefully someone puts in a film.
So do you guys have any up and coming bands or artists that you'd recommend people to listen to?
Yeah, you go on. We could go this for hours.
We could go this for hours. I'm gonna shout Fire Escape out. Because we like those guys, and they're really lovely bunch, really cool band, young upcomers, and
got something about them, I think.
Yeah, they're doing really well. They've got like a really good image, really good sort of sonic image as well. They've got a lot of different influences as well.
Yeah,
you know, they'll have like rockier elements, livelier elements. They've got clarinet in there as well, so it's cool. We've gigged with them a few times. So I'm going to just list a lot of names right now. Go on, you do that.
Too many, and I'm just going to get them all through
because
I don't want to leave anyone out. So like Attic-O-Matic.
For days and weeks I played a fool. For all I've seen I'll never know.
Flip Top Head. Maximilian.
Don't ask me how. The future.
Van Zon. Ladylike.
Just another fade in the cell carry.
Obviously, all the band. I'll mention them because if he mentioned it, it'll look bad. Soft Top. Which is Mars's other project, which is great. And all the other varieties, like Jamie's own project, Big Long Sun.
Everyone knows you got to pick up the phone if you don't know.
Which is great. And I think there's so many, you know, that I could mention, and I've definitely missed more than I've said. And that's the greatest thing about the Brighton scene. I do think it is the strongest scene in England at the moment.
Winners.
And I've seen it like develop over the last couple of years, and I think the best thing is that like no matter what your favorite kind of music is, you can go see these bands and they are so different and so interesting as well. And big up, you know, like obviously probably less like undiscovered, but Lambrini Girls, have to talk about them because they're doing so many bits for this scene. And like the fact they Dits as well, you know, so many different like projects, and I love how it finally feels like there's a kind of sense of pride to be from the Brighton music scene. But I think now it's kind of like cooler to be like or not cooler, but like you feel like you can say you're from Brighton now. You don't have to be a London band or like something. Like it feels like a sense of pride to be like in the Brighton scene now, I think, which is like everything I've ever wanted, really.
I think the sound of Brighton has changed, because when I was like, you know, I've been here like nearly 10 years. Yeah, it used to be like not much variety, whereas now you've got loads of variety of bands. We've missed loads. I mean, I could keep it like Slag, Goodbye, all of these bands coming through and just kicking off. And like when we go to other cities, like I work as a tour manager, so when I'm in other cities, they'll be like, "Oh, you've been Brighton? My God, the Brighton scene's incredible!" Like it feels like known everywhere now, which is mad.
And yeah, just seeing people getting played more and like on like the, you know, the big radio stations and stuff like that, it just really gives you like a sense of like, oh, we can actually do something. So I know that wasn't exactly
no, that's perfect. I think I agree with you. Like moving up to here for like obviously finishing uni now and being from where I'm originally from, like the difference in music scene is just mental. Like I was very much kind of again, like you say about punk music, I think a lot of these bits around the UK had that kind of punk resurgence. Definitely, and whether it was good stuff or not, it's different. And I think moving here, like my music changed, like going like to different gigs and stuff, and I think I've talked to different artists before about their moving to different locations, and like their sound has changed because they've been exposed to so much, you know. Like I mean here, I think I said a while ago, like I used to listen to a lot of soul music and stuff, and then moving up here, like I kind of stopped, and then moving back up here, I'm listening to all this again, and like especially with like the Barbed on air we do, I'm trying to be more eclectic with that. And I think that's the best thing is I kind of think it's you don't know if you don't like it until you listen to it. And I think the whole kind of what genre do you like, anything but
doesn't really make sense.
It's not.
Anymore.
It's whatever you listen to. You know, I think you're always going to find at least one song from a genre you
like.
like.
Exactly. I don't think we're kind of living in a genre kind of age now. I don't think it really exists too much, or like it does exist, but I think people are a lot more willing to bleed these genres. And I think especially in Brighton, since I think COVID, to be honest, I think having that time. Obviously, it was a horrible time, but like I think having that time where we couldn't go out made a lot of these bands kind of sit down and really think about it. And there's no way I want everyone to say that was like a good moment in time, because obviously it wasn't. But I think without that moment in time, people wouldn't have had that time to not be in like the live scene, or not be constantly having to play or go. Because I think once you have that moment to sit back and not play or not go out, that's when people can like really think. And if you look at the resurgence of bands coming out after COVID, I just think it's just so unique, but so like it all seems to fit. And I think that's what it is for me. Like you can go see us or go see like, I don't know, so many different bands that we wouldn't fit with, but it seems to make sense as a whole.
So what is the last song you guys listened to?
I'm not gonna, if it is my own song, I'm not going to count that and count the one that isn't my own song.
Oh God, actually, do you know what it was?
What was it?
What was it? Mine was Halloween Store by Andy Schauf. Shock. Yeah. I thought it was going to be embarrassing.
See, I said that before. This is Andy Schauf. Yeah. There's nothing bad about that though.
No, he's great.
Oh, Atmosphere by Joy Division.
See, that's cool. Yeah. That's a cool response. I think Andy Schauf's cool.
But I wasn't actually listening to that because I was showing Tinny because I wanted the drums. I don't know what I was listening to last, but yeah, that is good. What else was I listening to?
It'll be on you recently played, won't it?
My own song.
Yeah.
Jurassic. Well, only because I wanted to see the streams, I promise. Jurassic 5.
Nice.
A really cool band from the 90s. Bob Dylan, because I went and saw the movie.
I've been meaning to see that still.
It's pretty good. Timothy's actually quite good. Ladylike, I was listening to them. Nina Simone, Nick Drake. Yeah. Not
cool.
Sorry, that was...
it's okay. That's good.
I got distracted, to be honest.
It's good. That's good. So if you could create your own line of merchandise and had like an unlimited budget, it could be anything, what would it be? We've definitely had an interesting mix of answers for this.
I don't know. You can go if you've got something.
I think would be really cool. I was actually going to suggest this when we have the next rehearsal, but I think it'd be cool if we got like football scarves. But
I'd love some kind of football.
I like
thing.
that.
Aesthetic.
Green Door have them, don't they?
I think scarves getting more popular as well. I've noticed recently.
I thought about like lighters, but that's not that interesting. I think if I had like unlimited budget, that'd be.
You could do like custom like engraved ideal living like trumpets.
That'd be cool.
Like your custom own like.
Yeah, I mean just like I don't know, like anything really. I think it'd be really cool. I saw the Fat Whites once, the Fat White Family, and they'd signed a record from like I think it was like a weird song from the 80s, and they were just selling that, and it had nothing to do with them.
Yeah.
I just thought that was quite funny.
That is funny.
Because they just obviously just bought a record and signed it. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I think merchandising's quite weird because it's like kind of asking people to buy into your brand. I'm like really lucky because we work with my partner a lot, who does a lot of the illustrations. So I think t-shirts and stuff, I'd love to do like some kind of like more kind of detailed like clothes, like jumpers,
Yeah,
or
definitely.
like knitted wear or something like that. But yeah, I don't know if you've got any suggestions.
I saw a cool one recently. A band has got their own soap that's been made.
That's
be cool.
interesting.
They're like,
Yeah, that's
We could
interesting.
do
yeah.
that thing that like Brighton like OnlyFans person did. She sold her own bath water.
Oh, okay.
that.
I was like, Jesus,
For each band member.
Yeah,
Just a good collection.
yeah.
Like, collect them all.
Yeah,
So you know those magazines where it's like you get the little thing in the corner. Yeah,
once
it's
a week
like-
you can get a different
Just like a
member's bath
zine with like
water,
a-
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, like I think it's a really interesting world that we live in where that kind of the sale of your merchandise has become, I think, a bit more important
Yeah.
than it used to be because of the way how much you make from music.
Yeah, I think
And,
it's also like a lot of people like connecting with the artist a lot more, and these kind of little, like you're saying about the kind of whole everything that like Tyler the Creator does. I
yeah,
think,
and you
even
like
though-
having that piece,
Yeah,
don't you?
exactly.
I think vinyl is going to be our big one. Right, obviously, with our next EP, we're going to have our first vinyl.
Very
And
exciting.
that for me is big up Crafting Room Records.
We'll definitely have to get that here and give it a spin over
Yes,
there on there
you will.
constantly
It's
because
going to be fantastic,
Yeah.
man. I love vinyl. I think it's obviously can be a bit hipstery, but I do love. I've always enjoyed it. Like, so I think it's something about the physicality of owning your music, rather than in this world where it's so digital.
Yeah.
And so like not real.
I think
having
so-
that physical product
Yeah.
to hold in your hand and the putting it on the turntable and having to listen to it without being able to skip.
Definitely,
I think
yeah.
is such a different way of consuming music to what we are living in now. So yeah, that would be my on a record, and that is going to happen. So that's really
very
great.
exciting. Yeah, I think more on what you're saying is just like how easy it is to go next song, or like
Yeah, exactly.
Because sometimes like a lot of albums, obviously I think it's different now, but a lot of them are obviously meant for you to listen start to finish, and there's different. There's little interludes and all that.
Well,
kind of
that's
stuff.
it, and I think a lot with pop music, especially now, like there's like a downfall in like you can create a record and have like 3 good, really like hit songs on it, and the rest is filler.
Yeah.
And like that's not a personal shot at any particular artist. I just think that in general, that's kind of the way it's going a bit more now. As I think when it was vinyl as the main way of releasing, the artist had to think about every track.
Yeah.
Because there was no way you would just like, because now you'd only stream certain tracks from a certain record.
Yeah.
You don't usually listen from a record from
No.
start to
Yeah.
finish, which I think is a real shame. Because I think a lot of the time the way to like really understand an artist is to listen from start to finish of their record. But you know,
Yeah.
we live in a different age now, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So finishing off the kind of music section of the interview, your recent release, very, very cool. Can you just tell us a bit more about the process behind that?
Yeah, it's been really fun. We're really lucky to work with this great group of people called Tinderbox, big them up, and a guy called Ben Hampstead. I can never say his name right. It's Hampton. If we say it wrong, if we say it wrong, we do apologise. But he's a great producer, man. He worked with Lambrini Girls and Ditz, and it's just been really awesome. We recorded at Farm Road Studios, which is
No, we didn't.
no, not Farm Road Studios. Sorry, what's it called? Agricultural Engineering.
Audio.
Sorry, Agricultural Audio. My bad.
Sorry.
Although Farm Road is also very good. Agricultural Studios, which is great because it's like this little farm kind of just outside of Lewis, and I think that works really well for us because we could kind of felt like space away from the city, and like it was just really enjoyable. And sorry, what was the question?
What's the process behind
The
it?
process behind it, like I get, well, in terms of recording.
Yeah.
I guess, it was just like we all got in a room, recorded the main track together, and then added on. And like, with this one, it was a great process because at the place we were recording, like I said, it was like this farm. And it felt very open to like, once we had the main kind of body down, we spent a lot more time on like adding synth parts or like trumpet parts or like weird clangs or things we thought were good, and the producer Ben was great at like giving that room for us to do it. And I think we were very lucky because obviously the financial aspect for that we didn't really have because we were working with Tinderbox, and so we were able to like, without having to worry about the financial side of it, create. And I think for a lot of smaller bands now, that is a really hard thing to do, because the more you want something to sound professional, the more money it usually costs you.
We didn't have any sort of
And we didn't,
time limit.
and we didn't have a time limit.
Yeah.
We had a great studio, we had a great producer, and we had a great group of people working on it. And I think, yeah, it was definitely one of the funnest processes I ever had recording a record.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy for people to hear the rest of it, and then read the book as well. I'm really excited because that'll be the first time I've ever released like a kind of a novel, and that's really exciting because it's been really fun to write and kind of base off the music and create that world behind it. It's been difficult, but hopefully it's going to be good. So,
Yeah, no, definitely. Okay, cool. So just introduce the song and we'll play like a 30-second clip of it.
Come to me, yeah?
Yeah.
This is Come to Me. Come to me, so gently, in the dawning of the day. Your whispers like honey trickle in my ear to my brain. Come to me, with your anger, in the fragile evening haze. These bitter words that we throw burn and imprint in way.
Right, so we have now reached a new segment we're trying out on the show, which is a quick fire round called Gone in 30 Seconds. If you get the pun, you get the pun. We're going to ask you guys some questions, and you've got to answer them in 30 seconds. Probably should be able to do it easily between you, hopefully, but I've got them on my phone, so bear with me. We will set a timer, which we'll do now. Right, here we go. I'll give 2 seconds extra. Right, you ready?
Yeah.
Right, here we go. Right, so sweet or savoury?
Sweet. Savoury.
Acoustic or electric?
Acoustic.
Morning or night person?
Night.
Morning.
Play a festival or an intimate club gig?
Festival.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
Winter.
Perfect lyric or perfect melody?
Perfect lyric.
Go-to movie genre?
Horror.
Comedy.
What would your music smell like?
Sweat.
Charcoal.
Texting or calling?
Texting.
Falling.
Vinyl, CD or streaming?
Vinyl.
No.
That's pretty good.
There was 3 more. There's 3 more, but that was good, guys. That was good.
What are the other 3? Or do you not get to know now?
Nah, secret. They're
Okay,
secret, so
okay.
they're fan. But yeah, but well done. Well done. That was good. That was good. We literally almost 3 off. So banging.
Nice.
That's good to know. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. More of
Yeah,
that coming.
I-
So after that, now we're breaking off into the kind of non-music related stuff.
Nice.
What is the weirdest dream each of you have had? And you can tell us gradually.
Do you want to go first with this, or are you thinking about
I can if you want. I mean, I
think about it.
have like a very weird reoccurring dream that I've had since a kid, and I've actually like gone to dream analysts and to figure out. So if anyone watching this does know the answer, that would be great. I wake up in like this white kind of padded room, like a kind of crate, you know, like those cells where like crazy people get put in. That's probably not the most politically correct way to say that. But then it's like from my vision, and there's like this kind of like mannequin figure in the middle of the room, and then everything and it turns black, and then the lights turn back on again, and everything's got little squiggles on, and then it turns black again, and it's all clean again, and then it turns black again, and I wake up, and I've genuinely had that dream ever since I was like I can remember.
Yeah.
And no one's ever been able to tell me what it means, and I have
interesting.
no idea. But like I will have it at least like once every couple months, like since I've been like 8-9 years old.
That's really interesting.
So yeah, that's my. Please help me.
I think this is just going to add to that, because I don't know how to follow that really. Mine's more a recurring dream as well, but it's kind of more. I do understand the psychology behind this, because it's what your brain does to you when you're asleep. It's like meant to apparently prepare you for these situations.
Yeah.
But it's a pretty horrible recurring dream.
Yeah.
And it's usually the same scenario, that I'm either somewhere with someone that I care about or someone who's a friend of mine, and then they get hurt, and I go to try and call an ambulance, and I keep missing. Like I go 998, 996, and I can't do it, and then I get really, really, really stressed out, and then they die, and then I wake up. So
That's kind of like.
it's pretty horrible.
Looking for some fun.
No.
With, like deep psychological.
We're tortured artists. What can we say? Like, no.
So what is a conspiracy theory both of you guys believe in?
Aliens for sure. I don't think that's even a conspiracy theory anymore. I think it's so illogical to think that we're the only like things in the whole universe. That'd be mental. Do
Do you think they're on Earth? Do you think that we've had contact?
What, we're talking like Men in Black situation? I don't know.
I
I,
mean-
do see some weird people on the bus, and you're like,
No, I don't mean like
no.
Just transforms.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think it'd be weird if we weren't contacted already. But then, The other one I really like to think about is like if everyone's evolving at the same point we're evolving. So if you think like there are other aliens, but they're just at the same level we are.
Well, it's the whole thing is, are they so smart that they're hiding from us because they know they are, or is it like you're that kind of thing?
Yeah,
like
the other, yeah.
They wouldn't show themselves because they're smart and
Exactly,
that, you know, and
yeah.
like how are you never know if they're integrated into society. Like you don't know if someone else is one, you know, it could be like it's getting very tinfoil hat kind of thing.
Well,
but
that's
like
it. But no, I think 100% aliens exist. I'd be more surprised. I'd be a lot more surprised if they didn't.
It's the Fermi paradox thing. I think it's that I think about with this. It was just Austin wrote a tune about the paradox, but
Good song.
it was a great song. But we will reach a point and evolve and then die out before the other civilization reaches the point where we can contact them, the great filter. So like we'll never exist at the same time when there's another intelligent race, just because the vastness of the universe.
So, do you guys have any fears or phobias?
Yeah, so many. I'm a very scared person. Heights, that really gets me. I hate flying. I was in like a kind of not a plane crash or anything, but like I was on a flight when I was younger and it didn't land and they had to. It's all very scary, and I hate flying now. I think that is just bizarre. Like that everyone on a daily basis is like, let's just go thousands of feet above the earth at loads of miles per hour and like hope it's all good.
Yeah.
In a tin box, you know what I mean? It's mental to me.
Yeah.
But you know, a lot of things. Yeah, spiders, don't like them. Freaky things. Just like, what are you about? Why are you helping? I don't really see. And yeah, I don't know. What about you?
I don't like small spaces. Claustrophobia, definitely a big one. Like my biggest nightmare would be, you know, those people that go potholing or caving.
Oh god, like
Yeah, I went for. I've done that before.
Never ever gonna catch me doing that.
I feel like you're just asking to like something to happen.
Stuck. I
got stuck in a U-bend once because this like guy in front of me was a bit larger and he couldn't get out the hole. We were staying there for 2 hours.
Oh, that's horrible.
It was fun, but it was cold in the end.
No, I don't like that.
That's fair. No, that's not bothered.
So next question: what is your guys' go-to meal deal?
That's the toughest question you've answered.
Yeah,
asked the whole
it always
time.
is. Everyone gets
Depends on the
stumped.
day,
It really does. Meal deal, okay, classic. I'm gonna go with Ploughman's. Ploughman's for me.
Yeah, what are you combining it with?
I will combine it with cheese and onion crisp, probably. If they haven't got salted popcorn, you know, the little bag. I really love the little bag of salted popcorn. Or I've been going actually recently for a little carrots with the hummus dip.
Healthy
That
man.
good.
Damn good.
Very
That
healthy.
good.
Well, I'm trying to be. I love a bit of food, so you know, gotta be careful as the metabolism slows. Then that, and then probably go for like a juice. I would have said, if given me a year ago, it would have been a Red Bull, but it's definitely a juice now. One of those nice pink ones.
I think probably. I seem to hyperfixate on different types of food at certain times of the year. So at the moment, it would be a tuna mayo sarnie or a baguette, like a cheeky little tuna mayo sub baguette. Probably some salt and vinegar McCoys or salt and vinegar hoops. I love a bit of salt and vinegar.
Yeah.
I don't know. The drink is always the one, isn't it? It's the weak point. Changes every day. Either fresh orange juice or completely unhealthily a raspberry Lucasade sport. Because I have a deep, complicated relationship with raspberry Lucasade sport that's lasted for years.
So still food related. What is your weirdest food combination?
I've eaten a lot of weird things.
I've seen the
Most heinous one.
Yeah, go on.
I used to eat a lot of just like plain spaghetti with like an ungodly amount of like ketchup on it.
Oh, you
And then like get chicken nuggets. No, what I do in uni is I make spaghetti. I get a tin of beans, like baked beans, and mix it in with the spaghetti.
Yeah.
And then I'd mix like chicken nuggets in. Or all those little cocktail sausages. They were fantastic. Basically anything that was like in the reduced section, I would usually pop together. But since becoming in a long-term relationship, I'm eating a lot more consistently healthy. It's usually not potato waffles and ketchup anymore.
I feel like mine's not that rogue. I get a lot of hate for it. What it used to be when I was back in the meat eating days in uni, like we can compare and see how bad I've got. But I used to buy Richmond sausages that were on reduced, and then I'd fry them, chop them up, get barbecue sauce in a bottle, put that in the pan, and then have that with couscous. That was like a cheap student meal. But now, and I will die on this hill, coleslaw on pizza, fight me. It's great. You put mayo on pizza, you dip it in garlic and herb sauce. Coleslaw's just that, but with crunchy bits.
You put it on top of the pizza.
I put it on top of the pizza and then eat the pizza with coleslaw.
Yeah, they've all just tuned off. We've lost about a few subscribers there.
Not if it's a nice pizza. I'm talking crap pizza from the frozen section or something like that. I'm not talking if it's an authentic Italian pizza. I would never dream of it. Bless up Italy and all that, you know. But
So sadly, we're coming to the last question now. It's been lovely having you guys on, and thank you. Hopefully, get you back again for some exciting things in the future. But until then, just let everyone out there know what you got coming up. The camera's your friend, and go for it.
So on the 7th, we've got our EP coming out. It's going to be our debut EP. I'm very proud of it. It's called This Big House, and it's going to be released with a book that I've written, also called This Big House, which is kind of like the backstory to the 4 tracks in the EP that kind of detail a man's life. It's very much based off a book called Stoner by John Williams. If you haven't read that, read it. And yeah, you can catch us next month back in Brighton, or this month actually. We're playing with a great band called the Murder Capital at Chalk for Resident Records, and that'll be really fun. And yeah, a lot more exciting things to come in the future. But yeah, check out the record. I think it's gonna be good.
Yeah. So thank you everyone for tuning in. It's been a great show today, and definitely check out these guys. Ideal Living, a great band coming out of Brighton. So please do give them all the love. We'll put all their links in the comment section below. And yeah, until next time, see you guys soon. I've been John T, and this has been Barbed Audio. See ya. Bye.
Nice. Sweet. Nailed it.
That's right. Yeah,